So your Amazon account is suspended, you submitted a POA, and the POA gets rejected again. What's next? And what do we do? Let's get into talking about that and laying out the framework that you guys should know about and utilize. So for anyone that doesn't know, my name is Mario Simonian. I'm the founding attorney of ESQgo. We're a law firm out of Los Angeles, California, and we represent 7 and 8 figure Amazon brands and sellers with Amazon account suspensions, arbitration, and IP enforcement. Okay, so now let's talk about breaking down the core components of a POA. So, components of a POA, effective POA, it's going to include the root cause. What happened? What went wrong? What led to this suspension? That's number one. Number two, we're going to be talking about corrective actions. What has been done to ensure that the root cause has been corrected or resolved, remedied? And number three, preventative measures. What are we going to do in the future to ensure that this root cause, this issue, doesn't happen again? So those are three components. Now, the way we teach it over here to our team is the Christmas Carol. If you guys remember Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, and Ghost of Christmas Future. All right. How is that analogy even relevant? Well, if we're talking about root cause, we're talking about what happened in the past. What happened in the past that influenced or factored into this suspension? Okay, that's root cause, Ghost of Christmas Past. Next, Ghost of Christmas Present. What have we done currently to resolve this issue? Okay. Number three, preventative measures, Ghost of Christmas Future. What have we done to ensure this doesn't happen in the future? What changes have we made to our business, to our SOPs, to our infrastructure to ensure this doesn't happen again? Those are the three main components of any effective POA. And if your plan of action is missing that, you're not going to stand a chance of getting reinstated. All right. So next, what happens if your POA fails? You've submitted a few and they all failed. What happens next? Number one, let me say that I don't think any of you guys, unless you guys are experienced, should be DIYing this. I think in the long term, you guys waste a lot more money, waste a lot of time trying to do it on your own, where there are professionals out there. You should vet them, but make sure you get a professional that has done a lot of these, because this does take experience to know what POA works and what doesn't. And from there, also, what escalation steps can they take? So if you guys were to hire anyone, they should have a plan, an escalation path, because it can happen where POAs don't succeed. And that's fine. The way we do it is we'll draft the POA after gathering all the information, draft the POA. If it succeeds, great. If not, we're looking at calling account health. There's a lot of information, I think good information, that can be gathered from an account health rep. Are all of them good? Obviously not. But if they're not, hang up, call back again. But gather information from account health rep. What can we do to improve this POA? What is Amazon looking for? And what would you do if you were in my shoes, right? That's a question you would ask them to see if you could trigger any sort of response or any sort of valuable information from them. From there, we're looking at revising the POA, resubmitting again. We would repeat that 2-3 times to ensure that we've tried with about 3 POAs. If that fails, what are the next steps? Well, you've got a few options. Number one, you could look at Amazon's legal department. Number two, you could look at their executive department. Three, you could look at certain contacts within Amazon, whether it's the executives, whether it's their legal officers or general counsel, to escalate to them. That's inside Amazon. In addition to that, you could also look at external sources. What government agencies are there that you could reach out to? For example, what we do is we look at the BBB, that's the Better Business Bureau, and number two, even attorney generals for specific states. How can they help? By escalating the case to them. Now, to these external agencies or government agencies, we're not going to go ahead and submit the same POA. It's going to have to be a letter format. So just keep that in mind. But again, anyone that you're working with, they should have a plan, an escalation plan or path if your POAs do not succeed. And one thing that I think a lot of sellers don't take advantage of is account health reps. they've got a lot of information that they can share, or even certain things that they could tell you that'll help you understand where your escalation path should be going and where it currently is, and whether it makes sense to even go ahead and submit another POA. So keep that in mind. If your suspension is caused by a third party, such as a brand owner filing the suspension or filing the IP complaint that resulted in the suspension, that's another path that you could look at, is reaching out to them to seek retraction. Obviously, there it's a little bit more subtle. And again, with all of this, I sincerely suggest you guys reach out to a professional to go ahead and help you with this, because if you guys have seen my other videos about how much work actually goes into a POA and what are all the considerations that should be made, then you'll see how complicated it can be. And it's not just a simple draft of a simple document, but a POA, how we look at it and how Amazon looks at it, is a compliance report. That's really what we're completing. It's not a letter. There's no emotion. Okay. So those are steps that you should be looking at with the escalation path and things to keep in mind. Now, next, let's go ahead and talk about what things you guys should avoid doing. Number one, go ahead and avoid a response right away to a plan of action. I've been a seller myself. I know what it feels like. I know all the emotions that go through your body when you are suspended, when you get that dreaded email. But go ahead and take 12 to 24, maybe even 48 hours, however long it takes for your emotions to subdue, so you can craft a logical argument and start to put together a logical, strategic narrative about what happened, number one. Number two, what evidence or documents you need. And number three, what path are you going to take? Are you going to try to DIY this yourself, or are you going to try to hire a professional? I don't think it'll help. It'll hurt if you guys at least talk to a few professionals or law firms. Now, with law firms, they usually have more bullets in their chamber than a consultant would. And a law firm can provide you with legal advice, where a consultant legally can't provide you with any legal advice. So just keep that in mind. But those are things that you guys should be looking out for. Another thing, avoid submitting the same POA over and over again. There's a difference between updating and revising and improving a plan of action and submitting the same one, or submitting one that your friend used who got suspended for the same reason. Okay. Avoid all of that. If you guys have seen the other videos, I talked about how Amazon keeps track of all of that. They own AWS, and they keep track of every POA that we submit, every claim or case that we create within Amazon Seller Central. They keep track of all of your buyer seller messages, all of that. So just be aware not to submit a POA that's either too templated or has been used before. Okay. As long as you guys keep that in mind, I think you guys should be good. But again, the takeaway from this is know what your escalation path is before you even get started. And number two, know how to draft an effective POA if you're going to be doing it yourself. Again, not something I suggest. Okay. If there's anything we can help you with, go ahead and schedule a free consultation, or go ahead and call 424-363-6233. And we'd be more than willing to jump on a call and have a conversation with you about what your options are and what steps can be taken. Again, we've helped out Amazon sellers all the way from regular account reinstatement and ASIN reinstatement all the way to arbitration and lawsuits against IP infringers, and help them recover millions and millions from that. So don't lose hope, even if you get the dreaded message from Amazon saying we're no longer going to accept any responses or appeals. Okay? Thank you and best of luck.